Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Welcome to 2020. So I hope to give you guys a bit of a workshop tour here today so you guys can kind of see what progress I have been up to over the past couple months. Real quick, spoiler alert, not a whole heck of a lot. It's, as you can see, we're in January right now at the recording of this video. It's been quite cold and I've been working really diligently and hard. I might add to that to trying to get processed through a bunch of orders since 2019 or so. We had some pitfalls in 2019 that ended up slowing down the progress here at the shop, but I have gotten it quite a bit more put together. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this video and just kind of a quick look. So out there in the distance, hopefully you guys can see all the lighting up there. I know it's a little blurry and out of focus. I could go ahead and probably focus on the camera here. Let's pull focus all the way out there in the shop so you guys can see what's going on out there. But anyways, so out here in the workshop space, basically I've gotten my welding table fully set to where it's probably going to live mostly now and forever. And I've gotten all the lights hung in here that I wanted to get hung. So this shop space is very nice to work in, even with the darkness that's been happening here lately. At about around 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's already nightfall, so I can still get a lot of work done in here, even past that point if I so choose. So this has been a really nice thing. I'm glad. It seemed like kind of a ridiculous investment at first was to get all the lights up when I need to do siding and a roof and some other stuff, but I'm really glad I have them in here and that there was enough forethought there that winter's going to be dark. So yeah, other than that, this section over here, I'm not sure if it's in shot or not. It might be. Let me walk up here. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, you can't really see it. Basically where you see that apron at, and I'll bring you over here in just a second, that's going to be Jessica's enameling studio area for right now. The trough in the floor, hopefully you guys can still see that. It has not been filled in yet. Yeah, great plans laid to rest. But let's bring you guys a little bit closer to this area of the shop. Right now you're in the wood shop area. We're going to bring you a little bit on the closer side so you can see all of my varied junk, things like that. And we'll talk about the enameling setup for a second. Boop. All right. So here we are. This is Jessica's. This is going to be kind of like Jessica's enameling area. I was able to get a bunch of shelves hung, which is awesome. In this area, so you guys have probably seen where we've built this wall before. When we built this wall up here, just so this way we could put some shelves and we can make use of vertical space versus everything having to lay out on the floor. But yeah, so this is where Jessica does a lot of her enameling at. It's also where when she's not in the shop, I just busy, I make it a catch-all place basically. So basically it's a catch-all right now. But yeah, so there's not much else to see here. Pretty simple, pretty basic. We did, however, put you guys down here. I did, however, acquire a new tool cabinet here. I had my old one from my old workshop, but this one here is going to work out. I'm in the process of switching things around, and oftentimes that's how it happens. The old tool cabinet was my catch-all for everything. Now it's just going to be delegated to just nothing but welding supplies. So welding supplies, helmets, hoods, things like that, all that's going to go in the welding cabinet. And this here is going to be the catch-all for all the different other things that I have, like drill bits and measuring tools and marking supplies and all those sort of things. That's all going to go in this tool cabinet as of right now. And yeah, and the welding table is basically going to stay exactly where it's at. And we'll move on to some other places here. Hopefully this video is coming out good for y'all. Navigate through this tight shop. Whoa. This is what a workshop tour really should be. It's kind of raw, right? Raw, down and dirty. That's how we like it. Boom. So, put a bunch of shelves in here. These are new from last video of the workshop progress, and right now I've been using the top portion of these shelves for storage of things. Again, I don't have everything fully unpacked yet and everything completely organized in crates and totes and the way I want it. But this is where all the other stuff that I don't use on the regular, and or if I might need it, you know, someday, like summer or something. I got some fans up here and some other stuff. That's where that's going, using the top shelves for that. And then this bottom shelf here, I've been finding it pretty handy. I might actually put like a desktop down here just for this purpose. But I've been finding that this bottom shelf has become my kind of go-to staging area for different projects that I'm working on at the time. I usually have several things that I need to finish up, so they're not laying and cluttering up my welding table, because that's what happened in the old shop. The old shop, I just laid everything on the welding table, and that's just where it stayed until I was ready to finish it. Now I have some other flat surfaces that I can stage out stuff. So I'm going to put probably a table underneath here is what I'm thinking right now, kind of like a desktop that I can have as a staging area for the jobs that I need to finish up, because in here is where I do all my grinding work and things like that. Nonetheless, let's move on. Pow! So over here I got my pipe threader set where I want it to be. I've also got some extra hooks up. I put a bunch of hooks up for electrical wire and just like hold things, power cords, extension cords, things like that. Also air hoses. All this will probably change at some point in time. I'm not too firm on that it has to be exactly like this or this is the best option for me. This is just an option to get me back to a place where I can work and get actual production done. So that's a huge help, just to have hooks and things like that. I've got a boom box up here. You guys probably can see that there. I've got a boom box up here. I don't listen to that much music. I usually listen to podcasts and some things like that while I'm working for the day, if I don't need all of my brain cells, all 4 of them, firing on all cylinders for what I'm working on at the moment. So now let's throw you to the nasty part of the shop. All right, so this is the ugly part of the shop, I like to call it. This is all the stuff that I have yet to unpack or sort or put crates or boxes or totes or things like that in storage like it should be. So I've got extra shipping boxes. We've been doing a lot of shipping of things out lately, so I just got it laying right here. As I finish work over in this area, I can just grab some boxes and I can weigh it and package it and just be done with it. That is not what this portion of the shop's supposed to be. Right now, that's what it is. And that's just kind of how it works out in a lot of cases. Also down here on the floor, if you guys can see it, I did go out and get me a Dynaglow Pro is what it's called. It's basically a salamander, or, you know, we call them rocket heaters, salamander heater, diesel heater. It's like that, but without diesel. It runs off of a propane tank that I got behind me here, and really does a great job of heating up, surprisingly, this whole space. I don't know why I didn't do this years ago at my old shop, because man, it would have made a big difference. But even though this is an uninsulated building, one advantage this does have is this is a wooden ceiling, and so it does provide some thermal value, and it's about 2 inches thick is what the loft decking is there. So it does provide a lot of value there for insulation compared to my old shop, which was just straight up to tin roof. There was nothing there. Everything was tin. There's very little wood, very little insulating qualities at all. So the wood does help out quite a bit of providing a little bit of insulation. Plus the walls are a lot thicker because they're block in this section. So yeah, it does help out, but this is about 3 times the space what I had before, just in this area alone. Just in this blocked out area is about 3 times the space I had before. And yeah, I don't even, most of the time, to get it up to maybe 60-ish degrees in here, when it's like 20 degrees outside, I only have to run it on the low setting. And one of these tanks lasts for about a week doing it like that. So really can't really can't complain about that. So yeah, I could definitely recommend that for sure. So without further ado, in this area, let's take you guys out to the other area and kind of show you what we've got going on there. So here we are, we're going to start this off of the main forging area up in the loft space. So in this loft space, I really can't do a whole lot with it until I get at least the siding sealed in and then the roof fixed and or replaced. Most likely I'm going to replace the roof, but again, really can't do a whole lot with this space until I get those things accomplished. The main thing being getting the siding hung and up, because right now through the, the 1/2 inch gaps, I would say, in the boards and stuff, we do get a lot of weather that comes through, whether that be wind or rain or things like that. And so you can't even start to really build out an office space, which this space where you're at right now is going to end up being. So that's one of the issues that we'll be addressing hopefully come spring, later portion of the fall, summer, sometime in there. Hopefully that'll be on the goal for 2020. Over here, way out back here, that's all the old lumber off of a loft that I tore down over the forging area. Used to be a hay loft. We tore down a loft over there. So all the excess wood's just stored up here. And I'm not just getting rid of all this old barn siding, I am saving it. So any siding that I do take off that I deems too, rot or messed up, but it's still got some good sections to it, I'm saving that wood for future projects later, things like that. Could be turned into tables, all sorts of different projects where you just need some wood planking. And some of it's still really good, it's just not good at its entire 16-foot lengths that it came in. So yeah, so basically that's it for up here. Not much has changed. It's just kind of become a glorified storage unit, which is okay because we needed that anyhow until we can get our office fully built in this area to where we can start organizing that a lot better and get things out of totes. So let's go jump down to the forge. So here we are. This area here is still going to become my staging area here in the forge. It's a great place for me to offload steel and equipment, so that's where that's going to stay because it takes advantage of those big 16-foot tall doors there, double doors, sliders that open up. So this area will probably most likely always stay my staging area. Now, whenever I do offer a class or two up here in maybe the upcoming year or so, when I do offer that, this will become an area that I can then have those extra people in this area as well. Or again, stage stuff, cook lunch, things like that. But in general, this is just going to be kind of like that staging area. It's not going to have any sort of forging or anything to do. It just allows me to have a good workflow of bringing in my steel, tool, and supplies. Now, over here to the left, I was able to get all of my steel up on the rack and like it's supposed to be. I have various stages of completion with that. I did have to empty out one of my steel scrap barrels that was going to be headed to the scrap yard. Scrap prices are way down right now, so not a good idea to do that. But I did have to take advantage of one of those barrels to take and pick up a bunch of coal that I had sacked up just laying out on the ground. So I just dumped the steel out here on the side. So it looks like a mess over here, but that's not eventually the way that it's going to stay, as I went ahead and bought me another barrel and it's clear over here off to the side. Also, I'm hoping to get rid of a few bits of tooling. I've got basically this mechanical iron worker here that I bought, I don't know, 2 years ago now. It's been a while since I bought it. I was going to turn it into like a little hydraulic iron worker, and then I've just decided that I'm just not going to do that. I haven't used it since, and it's just going to be one of those projects that I'm probably not going to get around to doing. Sometimes you just have to be honest with yourself there, ladies and gentlemen, and say, hey, you know what? Some projects I'll get to. Other projects, probably not so much. Also, I've got another little anvil. It's a little colonial pattern anvil that I bought a long time ago, again, about 3 years ago or so, that I'm thinking about possibly getting rid of and selling as well. Haven't fully decided on that. But if you're interested in either one of these items, you can direct message me through my website. You can go over to www.blacksmithpdfs.com. A link for that will be down in the description down below. And you can go through the contact page and contact me about it if you're interested. And then, you know, I may let them go that way. Yeah, press still sitting over here, still needs to be deconstructed so I can rebuild it properly. I will have an entire video series around that when I do that, most likely, because what I'm going to do is build a power unit, you know, a hydraulic power unit, and then I will have several different hydraulic tools in the shop that I'll make some plans around and stuff when I can do that and have proper engineered drawings made for the press stuff. But anyways, yeah, so I'm going to end up making a power unit. I'll at least show that stuff on video, and we'll go there. When will that happen? Probably not in 2020. Probably 2021 before I get that project back done. I'm just too busy right now with everything else I have. So without further ado, let's just go jump over here real quick to the forging area, and we'll talk a little bit how I set that up. So here you have the main forging area, and the way that I've got this set up currently is, again, like the theme of this video is probably not going to stay this way for long. Right now I have the forging, I have my regular forge running coke, not coal, green coal this time around. So I have it sitting over here. You guys are familiar with that. You see it in the videos and things of that nature. I also got a swedge block right up close. That's one of Uncle Buck's Forge's swedge blocks. Finally built a stand for it to put it right there. That's different than my green Monegle swedge block that I've had for, I don't know, it feels like an eon now. I still have that on a regular stand. So I'm accumulating a lot of swedge blocks. I'm becoming the man of swedge blocks, if you will. But yeah, so this is what I've got set up in here so far. Olga's sitting right here, nice and pretty. I've got all of my tongs and tool racks directly across from the forge area here. Power hammer right there for the time being. And all this is going to do a bunch of do-si-doing, and I plan on bringing you guys along for the ride. Now, I do plan on building a brick hearth, a large brick hearth, or a stone hearth. Haven't decided which yet. I'm probably thinking on the brick side of things, but if I can pick up some deals on stone, I'm going to do a stone hearth instead. But that's either going to go right here dead center of the shop, or I've been toying around with the ideal of actually making it go all the way down here to the back wall area for just some different flow metrics. So this way I can have like a large layout table in this area. I can have like my power hammers and presses all on this wall that you see over to this side. So, so I'll have tooling over here, table, power hammer and presses that side, forge down on that end, couple of anvils. That may be the route that I take. Again, things are heavy. Things aren't too easy to move around. So I'm going to finalize that decision on paper before I do it in real life. Really, the deal is you need to have a good flow, a good workflow to your business. Right now in this current setup, I have to walk around too many tools to get to an item, and that really shouldn't be for a shop this size. You should be able to just walk right, plug and play, move right over to the piece of equipment you need for production quality, and be able to do that. But yeah, it's still a huge shop. I still got a lot of great stuff. You know, I've got lights over here, still my camera light stands, which are nice to be able to have the light stands and be able to direct them for videos. So I do have some lights that are on stands and things like that, which help out. And heck, they'd probably help out with this video if I were to turn them on. So boom, you guys can see me a little bit better. I also installed new lights up to the left and the right here. I've got 2 lights per side, similar lights to what I have over in the metalworking side. And that is a huge step to making this place a lot more workable. professional wise and for camera video quality, because if you guys don't know, it takes a crud ton of light for cameras to like what you're doing here. So, but yeah, that's basically it. Nothing much has changed in this area. I hung some tools. I did some other stuff, just real simple things, but that's kind of the update, if you will. This is where the shop's at, and, hope to continue to make it a little bit better as we go. See? No light versus the light, right? So let me drag you in here a little bit closer. You guys will have to excuse me. I'm hauling you in on the camera here, so there's gonna be some shaky bits. Doo-doo. So yeah, so over here, I basically got this set up where I've got my jigs and things hung up, scroll jigs, a couple other things. That's not everything, it's just part of it to sit up there. It makes a nice convenient place for it to be. Swing you on over. Over here's the gas forge. It's just a few steps away from the anvil, which makes it pretty darn handy to take and have that. And just kind of give you guys a 360-degree view here. Hopefully you guys aren't vomiting yet. You can work on it. And then, the classic scene that you're used to seeing when the camera's not crooked is all heck. But anyways, you get the point. Here I am. This is the scene backdrop that you guys are used to seeing, like on Friday night live streams. If you haven't been a part of those here recently, you may want to be, because every other Friday we do a live stream, and every other live stream we give away an anvil for the entire year of 2020. So that's pretty big and exciting. We're giving away one of these little 66-pounders that you can get, one of those little cheap Amazon anvils. So you'll want to be part of that. And the last night I heat treated this little hardy tool for it. So anyways, so you want to be there on Friday nights. And really the only prerequisite is you have to be there, and you have to be a subscriber of the channel. Otherwise you won't get the notifications. And if you don't click that bell and label it as I want all notifications from Christ Center Ironworks and watch the videos, you won't know when they're going on. So kind of one of those prerequisite deals. So you may want to take it and do that. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Again, I'm sorry, there's not a whole lot of progress. We just had a lot of things come up in our previous year that we just kind of knocked us off our heels there. And and we just couldn't do as much as we wanted to get done with the barn. But we're excited for 2020. We're excited to push ahead, and we're excited that you come and join us for this little shop tour. And without anything else to say, God bless each and every last one of you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Okay, so if you're still hanging around, this one's for those extra special bit of you guys that always stick around to the end of my videos. This is a huge, sincere thank you to you. I don't know what else to say. Jessica and I have been so blessed by our community, and every single live stream that we've done, every single comment, you guys know who you are. Right now, there's just so many names to list and write off. But you constantly support us on a regular basis, and we just really can't thank you enough. So this is just like a personal, heartfelt message to you. If you are part of that group of people that, buy power hammer plans on us on a regular basis, again, there's too many to list on that. I can't, I couldn't run them all through here. Plus, I don't know if you want to stay private or not. So you can always contact me if you'd rather your name be in lights. I can do that for you. I've gotten in trouble for doing that once or twice. People didn't like me using their real name and things like that. So try not to do that too much now unless somebody says so specifically. But anyways, you all know that I ramble a lot. You all put up with all my nervous tics and quirks and things of that nature. And I just really can't say thank you enough. I can't. At the end of the day, I'm just weirdo Roy, right? Like, I'm just Roy, just a guy. And, I started off my career in blacksmithing really just, just a blacksmith for fun, just for my own enjoyment, for my own pleasure, my own gratification, if you will. And getting to know people online has been one of the worst things ever. There's some real nuts out there, and it's been one of the most awesome experiences in my life. And I just really can't say thank you enough for that. Everyone stuck by Jessica and I. Even though we took kind of like a month or two hiatus, when Jessica's sister passed away, that was really tough on us. And like everyone still watched our videos, and there were so many of you that like went back and like binge watched our other videos because you knew that we were taking the time off. And there's a lot of you who watch really boring and dumb ads for us, and I just want you guys to know that we do notice that, and we are very thankful for that. And no matter how big, say, live streams go or how big the channel grows, our heart of hearts is that, we love you guys out there, you guys and gals. Let me try to say it, both ways there. That way no one gets upset. But, we really do. We really do love you all out there. You're what makes this channel awesome. You're what makes it great. There's no way in my lifetime could I give away as much stuff as I do without the support and the love from this community. And that goes in a lot of different ways. That's not just monetarily. I'm talking like when you guys share stuff, and when you share things out, when you talk about us, you comment, you recommend our videos, you're teaching people with the materials, like course materials. You're taking the materials that I've worked on and I've worked to shoot videos and tutorials about, and you're using those and you're taking them and teaching other people with that material. That's awesome. That's what makes all this worth it, and it does help, because then that brings a new person to the channel, and that new person looks at things and maybe they subscribe, maybe they watch a lot of our videos, and then, hey, the more people that there are on the channel, then there's other like brands, like big companies that want to like, trust me, I get tons of emails. I'm not into sponsorships whatsoever, but, I get those emails, people want to do stuff. And I say, hey, you know what, if you want to do something, you want to work with me, you got to take and bless my community. You have to take and help out, the blacksmiths online, and around the globe with something. So you're going to have to pay something for that. Not just me, so it's not like, I get all the money for all the effort here. It's very much a group thing. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for allowing Jessica and I to be able to be so giving and like that, and in that way, by your support and by sharing these videos. We greatly appreciate you. And yeah, I don't know what else to say, but God bless each and every last one of you. And thank you for watching. So thanks for staying to the end of the video, and we'll see how many people actually comment on this one. We ought to put in a goofy little catchphrase, shouldn't we? Let's see here. Let's go Anvil 2020, super awesome, or something. I don't know. I don't know. You can make up your own thing. Let's see here. Just go #1 super fan. There you go. Let's do that. #1 super fan. That'll be that hashtag or pound symbol, if you're old enough to remember that that's what they used to be called. That hashtag or pound symbol, super fan. There you go. 1 and super fan. Do that. That'd be awesome. Anyways, let us know if you made it this far in the video. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate each and every last one of you. Thank you so much.